Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into a subject that sooner or later touches every single one of our lives, the challenges of old age. But more importantly, we're going to explore the incredible solutions and wisdom that can transform it. Now, everything we're going to talk about today is inspired by the profound wisdom in the book Rhythm Ki Samasyaye e Aura Samadhana, which was written by the great Pundit Sriram Sharma Acharyaji. We're going to distill its timeless advice into a practical guide for a meaningful and dignified later life. So let's just get right to it. Is old age supposed to be this time of looking back with regret, of feeling helpless and thinking, that your best days are over? It's a really common fear, and it's completely understandable to feel that way. I mean, does this sound familiar to you? That nagging voice that says, I wasted my youth on things that didn't matter, and now my body just can't keep up anymore. That kind of mental pain, that feeling of being trapped by your own past, is often way more exhausting than any physical problem. And then there's this one, which for many is the deepest cut of all. The feeling that the people you gave your entire life to now see you as a burden, or worse, don't see you at all. It's a huge source of pain. But what if I told you there's a completely different way to look at all of this?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. We're going to start by mastering our inner world. Then we'll talk about redefining our outer world, our relationships. After that, we'll get into a practical blueprint for your day-to-day life, learn how to embrace the final chapter, and finally, uncover what the true wisdom of aging really is.
All right, first things first, before we can change anything around us, the real work begins inside. We have to win the battle within our own minds. So you've really got two paths you can take. On one side, there's the prison of the past. This is where you're constantly replaying old mistakes or daydreaming about the pleasures you had when you were young. That path, it just leads to more and more suffering. But then you have the other path, the freedom of the present moment. This is about accepting things as they are, finding little bits of joy in today, and just working on being at peace. Your power isn't in the past, it's right here, right now.
Wow. This quote it's pretty blunt, isn't it? The point is that the bad habits you could kind of get away with when you were young, well, they become like heavy anchors in old age. They don't just slow you down, they can actually pull you under.
So, how do you actually get rid of these things? The book describes it like a snake shedding its old skin. First, you just have to admit that the habit is hurting you. Second, you make a solid, firm decision to stop. But you can't just leave an empty space. You've got to replace that old habit with something good, something positive. And last, and this is key, you have to be patient with yourself. It takes time.
Okay, so once you start getting a handle on what's going on inside, it's time to look outward. This next part is all about reshaping your relationships and finding a totally new kind of purpose in the world.
And this leads us to a really powerful concept from the book Upeksha Ki Upeksha. It basically means the art of ignoring neglect. Think about that. The idea is to free yourself from the pain of being ignored by simply giving love and doing your part without expecting anything at all in return. The magic isn't in trying to change them, it's in changing your own expectations.
And here's a perfect example of how that works with family. The whole dynamic needs to shift. Your adult kids aren't your subjects anymore, they're your friends. You can offer them your wisdom, sure, but then you have to give them the freedom to make their own choices. That one simple shift can change everything.
But this brings up a really good question. You might be thinking, okay, so if I step back and stop expecting things, then what am I supposed to do? What's my purpose now?
And the answer is beautiful. You expand your definition of family from just your house to your whole community. This is called lok seva, or selfless service. Your lifetime of experience is a treasure. You can teach your grandkids, tell inspiring stories, volunteer at the library, or mentor young people. You basically go from being the manager of a home to being a source of wisdom for society.
So we've talked about the big mindset shifts. Now let's get super practical. How do you actually structure your day to live this way? This next part is a clear blueprint you can follow.
The book lays out 5 pillars for a healthy life. They're actually pretty simple. 1, a light diet, easy to digest food. 2, a regular routine for sleeping and eating. 3, gentle but consistent movement, like walking. 4, and this one's huge, keep a cheerful, happy attitude. And 5, keep your mind busy with noble ideas and spiritual growth. It's that simple.
And look at the difference this makes. An aimless day is just sleeping late, sitting around, maybe complaining, and feeling like a burden. But a purposeful day? It starts with a walk, maybe some light chores to stay active, reading something inspiring, and connecting with people.
The person feels useful, engaged. The difference isn't about what you can do, it's about what you choose to do.
All right, now we come to a topic that a lot of people are afraid to even talk about, the end of life. But the wisdom we're exploring today doesn't see it as something to fear. It sees it as a meaningful final chapter that we should try to understand.
The book gives us this really powerful way to think about it. Death isn't the end. It's more like changing your clothes. Your body is like an old outfit that's gotten worn out and doesn't fit right anymore. Death is just the act of taking it off so you can get a new one. It's a change, not an end. And to take that idea a little deeper, just think about sleep. We don't fear going to sleep at night, right? We know it's a rest that gets us ready for the next day. Well, in the same way, death is just a longer, deeper rest that gets the soul ready for a new life, a new beginning.
And here it is, maybe the most powerful way to look at it all. Old age is life's graduation ceremony. You've spent decades learning and growing. You've earned your certificate. You don't cry when you graduate from school. You celebrate. You get excited for what's next. That's the kind of honor and accomplishment we should feel at the end of a long life.
So after all of this, what's the big takeaway? What is the real gift of this final stage of life? Well, it's not a decline. It's more like receiving a crown. Think about it like this. Life is like climbing a huge mountain. When you're young, you're so focused on the climb, on the path right in front of your feet, that you can't see much else. But old age, that's when you finally reach the summit. And only from up there can you turn around and see the whole beautiful landscape. You can finally understand things that were totally invisible to you during the climb.
And that's the moral we want to leave you with. Old age is not a punishment. It is life's final, most precious gift. It's your one big chance not to get stuck regretting the past, but to use everything you've learned to perfect your soul for whatever comes next.